The 35-year-old was found dead in that former officer's RV. The family says the officer gave Hendrix the drugs that led to her death. Chicago police say they have an open investigation into the family's claims.
This is a civil lawsuit that we're talking about. Lawyer Gregory Koulis joins us now to break it all down. Thank you so much for being with us, Attorney Koulis.
Good afternoon.
You know, I've talked to this family, and one of the things that they definitely want are some answers. They haven't really gotten any, at least according to them, from the Chicago Police Department. Tell us about today's lawsuit and what is the Hendrix family trying to accomplish here?
Well, the Hendrix family have lost a loved one. It's 1 week before Christmas, and they're without a very big piece of the puzzle of their family. Since this incident, the family has tried to get answers from the police department because reportedly they investigated Charlie Bell and his relationship with Treasurer Hendrix. Since that time, however, there's been no answers at all. No one has come to her home and has come to Cynthia's home and has said, "You've lost your daughter. Let us explain what happened. Let us explain what we have found." Amazingly, though, and unceremoniously, 1 week after this tragic death of Treasure, Charlie Bell resigns from the police department. So now we have the Chicago Police Department investigating once again its own.
All right. Now, he has not been charged criminally, this officer in question here. Are you pushing, I know this is a civil suit, are you pushing for charges as well here?
We would love to see Kim Fox in her office do an independent examination. Right now, it looks like it's the fox guarding the hen house. We have Charlie Bell, who was a police officer for a number of years. There's a young lady who dies in his RV, which is parked in a very unusual place in the city of Chicago. They've had a relationship in the past, a long-standing relationship. She dies in his home, in his RV, claims that it was an overdose. Medical examiner's report says it was an overdose, and once again, it's swept under the rug. But again, unceremoniously, Charlie Bell resigns within a week of her death.
You know,
Would criminal charges be warranted? I don't know. We're going to try and find out as much as we can.
I had a chance to get some of the toxicology results from the coroner's office. It looked like it was a cocktail of all kinds of drugs. We know the police department has said it doesn't comment on pending litigation. Why are they being sued in all of this as well?
Well, the police department is not being sued. Let me correct you there. Right now, we're suing Charlie Bell. Charlie Bell is a citizen like you and I in the city of Chicago. We're alleging that Charlie Bell either facilitated or obtained or facilitated or ingested narcotics into Treasure. What we're going to be able to prove is yet to be seen, but I think that there's plenty of evidence to indicate that Charlie Bell, as a police officer, may have been had a little more easier access to illegal narcotics. The Chicago Police Department is not being sued right now. We're just asking the Chicago Police Department to cooperate with us, to cooperate with maybe some other investigative agency that might want to look at this and determine if criminal liability is warranted. Again, if the city of Chicago is liable down the line, that's yet to be seen. Right now, we're looking for evidence and answers for the family.
All right, well, we appreciate that clarification.
See, now I spoke on this before because I know people that actually know or knew Treasure. So I spoke on this before, and YouTube took my video down. This was months ago. This happened about, I'll say, a year ago. But the investigation and what was happening was so dirty and so corrupt, no one cared. They went into tearing into Treasure's life. Oh, this was some call girl. This was some woman of the night. They had been dating for years. Not once have you seen a photograph of her and Charlie go together till you saw it on his thumbnail. And because a woman may have danced or may have been a stripper or may have met her in a club and dressed provocative does not mean she has the right to be taken advantage of or treated less than a citizen. See, that's the problem. So now, this was his girlfriend. When he was an officer of the law, not before he was an officer, he was in a full-out relationship with this lady, but tried to downplay it when she overdosed in his RV. And they allowed him to retire with full benefits. The taxpayers are paying this man. They threw a party for him. And she's got a cocktail full of drugs in her system that caused her death, the coroner report says.
Lawsuit alleges that Charlie Bell, who was a CPD officer at the time, gave Hendrix drugs which led to her death. And now the family is demanding answers.
Oh, Treasure.
Calling out for her daughter, Treasure Hendrix's mother, Cynthia, says her heart is shattered.
My firstborn, the one that made me a mother. I don't get sleep at night. I don't eat no more. I don't want to talk to nobody. My child is gone.
Hendrix was pronounced dead inside this RV on August 19th. It was parked in this truck parking lot in the 1500 block of Southwestern. According to state records, the RV is owned by Charlie Bell, who was a Chicago police officer at the time of Hendrix's death. In their newly filed lawsuit against Bell, they claim Bell, quote, offered Miss Hendrix illegal drugs on August 18th and or August 19th of 2021.
He had a relationship with the young lady, took advantage of that relationship, and we believe, and information we believe, the family believes that either supplied drugs to her on that evening or somehow facilitated her using drugs or did not protect her when he had an opportunity to protect her when she was staying in his home.
The Cook County medical examiner ruled her death an accidental overdose, finding ethanol, cocaine, fentanyl, and methamphetamine in her system. Oh.
You see that? All that in her system.
According to the police report, Bell claims he spent time with Hendrix earlier that day and that she came back to his RV that night drunk and high. Her family says while Hendrix did like to drink, she didn't use hard drugs.
We're going to ask for texts, whatever we can find to try to determine what really happened that night.
According to the police report, Bell told officers on the scene that he found Hendrix unconscious the next morning. He told police he tried to resuscitate her, but she was unresponsive. But the lawsuit alleges that Bell, quote, failed to determine if Miss Hendrix needed medical aid and, quote, failed to contact, notify, or otherwise alert emergency personnel that Miss Hendrix was severely intoxicated or impaired.
And unceremoniously, Officer Bell resigns from the department, and that chapter suddenly closes. And the life of Treasure Hendrix suddenly closes.
The Chicago Police Department tells the I-Team that Bell resigned from the department on August 26th, a week after Hendrix died. In a statement, CPD says, quote, a death investigation is ongoing and that, quote, there is an open investigation into the allegations made by the victim's family.
I'm a mother, and if you have children and something like this occurred, you would want answer too.
Now, the lawsuit also cites the Drug Dealer Liability Act, which is an Illinois law that provides civil remedies to someone injured as a result of illegal drug use. Now, I have reached out to Charlie Bell several times, and so far I have not heard back.
And you won't hear back.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for...
And you won't hear back. Mm-hmm. And why won't you hear back? Because Charlie knows he's gonna sit back, and Kim Fox and everybody else, while they were so concerned about Juicy, that was their main concern. But you got a police officer who's out here with women. Like, everybody know that who that guy was dating. Come on, stop playing. You think other guys in the department didn't know who he was dating? They knew. They didn't care. They didn't care. Because for her, she probably knew too much. We'll never know. One never knows. Yeah, but one thing we do know. Shouts out to Angela Murdoch Russell, who helped provide some of this information. See, Charlie Bell is just one of the people that is the problem here. The problem is the Chicago Police Department has assigned a detective to basically investigate the case, right? Now, she died August 18, 2021, in his personal RV trailer, which was parked in the weirdest place ever, by almost an abandoned building area. You just saw that on 15th and Western. Now, why is the CDP detective who was assigned to the case Montanaro? Detective is Montanaro. He's investigating the case, right? Why is he threatening family members of Treasure if they continue to seek info by sharing flyers on social media trying to find out about what's happened to her because they feel the CDP, or CPD rather, isn't doing enough? So why Detective Montanaro feels that this is ideal to do? I don't understand it. Yeah, YouTube took down the last video I did about this. Let's see if they take this one down. I already know they ain't gonna monetize it, but who cares? It need to be said. It need to be out there. Some things isn't about money. No problem, Juan. I'm out.